In 1998, the Department of Defense of the United States performed a unique test. They scraped cells from the roof of a man's mouth and put it in a test tube. They hooked the test tube up to a lie detector. Then they hooked the man up to a lie detector, but in a totally different part of the building. They had the subject watch different types of shows on television, peaceful, soothing, or violent, stimulating shows. What they found was that the individual cells registered the very same activity as the person did. They continued this by separating the man from his cells further and further apart until they got him 50 miles away, and the same activity would occur each time regardless. The same thing the cells were experiencing was the same reaction that the man himself was experiencing. Sometime later, they did another experiment called the Einstein-Podolsky-Rogin experiment. And that is, they took strangers, two individuals, did not know each other, and had them to converse for a few minutes, and then they put each one of them into a Faraday cage, which is an electromagnetic cage. Electrical signals cannot enter or leave that. And they separated them 50 feet apart. As they did, they shined a pin light into the light of one of them, but not the other. And they tested those individuals, and regardless of which one it was, they both experienced the same neurological expression of that light in their eyes at the moment. They had no connection between them, yet it occurred. What are we saying? We're saying that God has created human beings. The Bible is true. He has created the earth, and He's upholding it with the authority of His Word, Hebrews 1:3 says. Jesus said one time to His disciples in John 3:12, He said, if I've told you earthly things and you don't understand it, how will you believe and understand if I tell you heavenly things? My point is this: God is in charge. He knows what He's doing. And even though we may not understand, He does, because He's God. You see, how many of us could explain the law of gravity? Can you see the law of gravity? Can you feel it in your hands? Can you explain all the mechanisms of it? Answer, no. Why? Because God created it, and God causes that principle or that law to work, and yet we don't understand it from the natural standpoint. And all of our senses, though it affects us, and it's holding us on this ball of dirt that we call the earth, yet there's much about it that we don't understand. There's lots of things about God that we don't understand. That's okay. By faith, we believe what He says. By faith, we believe what the Word of God says. By faith, we believe that God is in charge, and He's upholding this world and our lives in His hands. Today, friend, don't be discouraged. Don't be defeated. Don't allow the world around you to tear you down. Believe what God says. Believe His Word. Trust Him. Read His Word, meditate in it, memorize it until it's a part of your life, and then trust Him that He's in charge and He's going to take care of you. The thing that we call quantum physics, we don't understand it. I don't know of anyone who does. Yet it's the power of God. It's God's hand in operation in human affairs. And we believe it, we trust it, we know He's at work. So let's continue to believe and trust Him today. May God bless you this week. May you have an overcoming week in every situation that you face today. God bless you.